Hey there, myth lover. Pull up a chair and let's dive into one of ancient Egypt's most fascinating and fiery deities, Sekhmet. This isn't just any goddess. She's a lioness-headed force of nature who could heal you one moment and unleash her wrath the next. Her rituals? Oh, they're as intense and mesmerizing as she is. So grab your imagination and maybe a cup of tea, because we're about to explore the sacred rites that honored this powerful goddess. Before we jump into the rituals, let's get acquainted with Sekhmet herself. Picture this, a woman with the head of a lioness, eyes blazing like the desert sun, wearing a solar disk atop her head. She's both protector and destroyer, a goddess of war, healing, and vengeance. Sekhmet was believed to be the daughter of Ra, the sun god, and served as his fierce enforcer. Legend has it that when humanity grew rebellious, Ra sent Sekhmet to punish them. But once she got started, she couldn't stop. The bloodlust took over. To calm her down, the gods tricked her by pouring red-tinted beer across the land, which she drank thinking it was blood. Once intoxicated, she fell asleep, and upon waking, her fury had transformed into compassion. This duality, fierce yet nurturing, is what makes Sekhmet so captivating. And her followers knew exactly how to honor her through elaborate rituals. One of the most famous rituals dedicated to Sekhmet is the Festival of Drunkenness. Sounds wild, right? It absolutely was. This annual celebration reenacted the myth of Sekhmet's pacification and was all about balancing chaos and order. Here's how it went down. Participants would gather in temples or open spaces adorned with images of Sekhmet. Priests prepared vast quantities of beer, often dyed red to mimic blood. As night fell, people drank copious amounts of this ceremonial brew while singing, dancing, and making merry. At the height of the festivities, everyone would collapse in exhaustion or drunkenness and sleep off their sins. When dawn broke, the crowd awoke refreshed, symbolizing rebirth and renewal. This ritual wasn't just about partying. It was a deeply spiritual act meant to appease Sekhmet's wrath and ensure her protection for another year. While Sekhmet was known for destruction, she was also revered as a healer. Ancient Egyptians believed she held the power to cure diseases and ward off plagues. Temples dedicated to her became centers of medicine, where priests acted as intermediaries between the goddess and those seeking relief. Healing rituals often included prayers and offerings. Devotees brought offerings like flowers, incense, and food to Sekhmet's statues, asking for her mercy and aid. Amulets and talismans. Small figurines or carvings of Sekhmet were worn or placed in homes to invoke her protective energy. Dream incubation. Some worshippers slept within temple grounds, hoping Sekhmet would visit them in dreams to provide guidance or healing. These practices highlight Sekhmet's role as a guardian figure, not just a destroyer. Her ability to bring both life and death made her rituals profoundly symbolic. As a goddess of war, Sekhmet inspired physical displays of strength and discipline. Warrior dances were a key part of her worship, especially among soldiers preparing for battle. These weren't your typical choreographed moves. They were primal, energetic expressions of devotion. Dancers wore lion masks or costumes to embody Sekhmet's spirit. They moved with ferocity, mimicking the stalking and pouncing motions of a lioness. Drum beats and chants filled the air, creating an electrifying atmosphere. For warriors, these performances were not only acts of reverence, but also a way to channel Sekhmet's courage and power before heading into combat. In ancient times, blood sacrifices were common in many cultures, including Egypt. While direct human sacrifice wasn't typically practiced in Egyptian religion, animals like bulls or gazelles were offered to Sekhmet to satisfy her hunger for blood. Over time, however, these rituals evolved into more symbolic acts. Instead of actual bloodshed, red wine or dye was used to represent blood. This shift reflected changing attitudes toward violence while still honoring Sekhmet's primal nature. Fast forward to today, and Sekhmet hasn't been forgotten. In fact, she's experiencing a resurgence in modern spirituality. Neo-pagan groups, Kemetic practitioners, and even yoga enthusiasts draw inspiration from her dual nature. Modern adaptations of Sekhmet's rituals might include meditation focused on inner strength and transformation, fire ceremonies to symbolize burning away negativity, creative arts like painting or dance to connect with her creative, destructive energy. For many, Sekhmet represents empowerment, a reminder to embrace our own fierceness while staying grounded in compassion. So why should we care about a lioness goddess from thousands of years ago? Because Sekhmet embodies timeless truths about balance. She teaches us that anger can be channeled into action, that destruction can pave the way for creation, and that true strength lies in knowing when to fight and when to heal. Her rituals remind us that even the wildest parts of ourselves deserve respect and understanding. Whether you're drawn to her warrior spirit or her healing touch, Sekhmet offers lessons we can all take to heart. What fascinates me most about Sekhmet is how multifaceted she is. She's not just a goddess of rage or war, she's a complex being who demands respect, humility, and joy. Her rituals reflect that complexity, blending celebration, prayer, and introspection in ways that feel almost otherworldly. Would you have participated in the Festival of Drunkenness? Or do you prefer the quieter side of Sekhmet, invoking her for healing and protection? Either way, I hope this glimpse into her world inspires you to tap into your own inner lioness or lion. Let me know what resonates with you, what